G'day guys, how are you? I just wanted to do a brief little video of something that happened to me recently, and I hope it's an encouragement to you. So basically, I work in hospitality industry, and I work on a front desk. And we have throughout the building that I work in closed circuit television, or not television, closed circuit cameras. They call it CCTV, closed circuit television, whatever. Video cameras, basically, throughout the building, and we have an application which runs software where you can see in real time, live, what's going on in front of those cameras, and they're positioned throughout the building. And but they're not in color. That's why I'm shooting this one in grayscale or black and white, classic black and white. And in the black and white format, if something is white in color, I'll just give you an example. I'm holding up a piece of paper here with some chords on it. The chords are in black, the paper is white. That's obvious, white paper. And something that is white will appear white. Something that is black will appear black. If I hold up my remote control, which is made out of plastic, and it's black plastic, it appears black. The buttons on there, which are white, appear white. The little symbols on the buttons, which are white, appear white, and the buttons themselves, which are coloured, appear sort of a grey shade. But you've got the obvious distinction between what is black on here and what is white and what is a colour in between. So black appears black and white appears white when you're using a black and white filter, or if you were using indeed black and white film using a conventional camera, which I've done in the past. So having said that, that's the basic science of photography. And the same applies with video cameras. This is a video at the moment that I'm filming, and it's in black and white, and the same principles apply. Something that is in the camera's shot that is white will appear white, and something that is black in the shot will appear black. It's as simple as that. Having established that, as a scientific fact, I'll go into the retelling of what actually I saw. So one morning I was sitting at my reception desk, waiting for people in the hotel to check out, as they normally do early hours of the morning. And I saw a person that's known to me. Because of the particular camera that I was looking at, I knew that this particular camera was overlooking one of the rooms in the hotel, one of the public places in the hotel, where there are other staff working. And I know who works in there, I know what they're doing, they're routinely working in that area at that time of the morning. And I saw a person the person looked familiar to me, but the way they were dressed was startling, surprising, because they have dark hair, and when I saw them on the CCTV, they had dark hair. They were walking away from the camera, not towards it, so it wasn't easily able to make out their face, but I knew who it was from the physical attributes of the person. And they were working in that area, and they normally work in that area. And I saw them walking away from the camera. But what surprised me was their clothing. Their clothing was bright white. And it wasn't as though they were wearing casual clothing. It was as though they were wearing a suit of white clothing. That's what I saw. The person was dressed in a suit of white clothing, and it came up to a circular neckline, like a collared neck, but like a circular collared neck. Yeah, so they were wearing what looked like a suit of white clothing with a circular collared neck, not an open lapel type of thing, like a jacket. Maybe more like an Asian style, or even the Indian style of jacket, which has a collar around it, a circular collar which goes up around the neck. So yeah, it was that kind of a collared neck on a formal jacket and slacks. But the color of the jacket and slacks was bright white. Bright white. And I could see clearly they had dark hair, and their skin color was like this, a grayscale. And I thought, that's odd, because none of the staff that work in that area wear white. They don't wear white. So a bit later in the morning, I met the person that was working in that area, and I noticed that they were wearing black clothes, because the hotel uniform for our staff is black with gold writing on it. But black clothes. And as I've established, if something is black on a CCTV camera, it appears black. If it's white, it appears white. Black clothing will not appear white on a CCTV camera. That's a scientific impossibility. It's the complete opposite. That's scientifically impossible. So having established this fact in my mind, and undoubtedly I saw what I saw, a person walking on in front of this camera dressed all in white. And when I spoke to the person and said to them, you're wearing black clothes, but I saw you on the CCTV and you were all dressed in white. And they just kind of laughed and said, you saw a ghost. And I left it at that. I didn't question any further about it, And I know this person. They're a hardworking, good-natured person, very kind and considerate person, I would say. So, in my mind, it reminded me of what's talked about in the Bible when somebody encounters an angel. I've done another video on this where I go through all the verses in the Bible, and there's quite a few of them where it mentions encounters with angels and people, and it talks about people that are in heaven, and on every occasion, angels or people that are in heaven, or Jesus himself after he returns or is resurrected. All of these occasions they mention people that are dressed in white. So people dressed in white in the Bible are either people that are in heaven, Jesus, or angels. Angels are in white. So the only conclusion I can draw from this is that this person that I know is an angelic host. So the spirit of an angel is at times, or perhaps all the time, upon this person. There's no other explanation I can think of. There's certainly no scientific explanation for it. So there can only be a spiritual explanation in my mind. I mean, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who's the author of Sherlock Holmes, penned the famous detective's catchphrase, which is, you look for the obvious answer to something, but when you're unable to find the obvious answer and you eliminate all possibilities, you narrow down all the possibilities, what remains, no matter how unlikely, is the truth. So once you eliminate what is possible or probable or likely, you get down to the more unlikely, the more fantastic. But if you can eliminate all the other possibilities, then what remains, no matter how unlikely, is the truth. So there are angels among us. And they may be just people that you meet in your everyday life. They look like ordinary people. But I suppose the only way to discern them is by their actions, by the people that they are. Possibly their words and their actions, but it's who they are, the nature of the person, the kindness, the compassion of them. These kind of people, either they are angels or they are angelic hosts, so hosts to the spirit of angels. That can be a possibility as well. So I'll leave that with you. God bless. Keep reading your Bible, keep praying, keep watching and waiting, because we live in interesting times, and that's not necessarily a good thing. God bless.